Hello everyone. I hope you guys are doing well, and today we are here to talk about Linux again. It's a re-recording because the previous time we had some issues with the screen was stuck because of password error. Sorry, pipeware. Okay. So I wrote a blog post in it, but most of you didn't read that. Is disappointing because what happens while I'm recording video, I may miss something, but in the blog post I can see what I am writing and what is missing in there, but I can also modify that while I'm publishing or even after published. So that is kind of more completed editions of this video. So every time I what I do is I create a video, then I go and write a blog post in it. I think you guys should check that blog post. Link will be in the description. And okay, so let's start again. What we'll be doing is we'll open a terminal, and today we'll try to visit all those uh, Linux directories and try to understand their use cases. So let's start from the root directory, which we call also call the top level of directory, which is just this. Okay. Okay. So in here, this is just UNLS. This is called the top level directory of the file system hierarchy. It have all the directories and subdirectories, and this is the essential, or this is the whole operating system. You can say, uh, if this root directory is not mounted, the system will not run, won't even boot. Okay, so this is a mandatory, and it's case sensitive. If you are touching or removing anything here, you should be aware of what you are doing. Like it doesn't matter if I remove this cat version, because I guess it just have the version, so it doesn't matter. But if you are removing any other things, you should know what they do. So that's why this video is kind of a area's guide for learning Linux directory. Okay, so this is the top level directories where all the directories, subdirectories, all the programs, softwares, all the configuration, themes, icons is comes after the subdirectories and the subdirectories. So we'll be starting to visit all these directories here and try to know what their use cases, what they do, what is stored in there. Okay, so let's start with the binary directory. So this is the binary directory. It have all kinds of essential binaries or commands that we're running. Their binaries required for all the users. Basic commands like ls, cp, like cd, those we use. Like if we can check through ls, if I grep and say ls, you'll get a lot of ls actually. So here, okay, so there is more. If I give cp, there is a cp. So it contains all the binary for the very core system, and these binaries are also used for the system recovery that are available on single user mode. If you get stuck on the system, so this is the binary folder that will help you to recover the system. So let's go back to the root directory, and after visiting the binary, let's see, we'll visit this device folder, which is called dev. So we'll see how it is here. So this contains all the files that represent the hardware devices, such as hard drives, USB devices, or virtual devices. um, these virtual devices are, these all the files are dynamically created by the system to allow your interactions with the hardware. So these things are very essential to make the system working smooth, and And if you just remove anything from here, the system may get stuck. Okay, so then we have the home directory. Okay, let's expand it a bit so that I guess previous time I forgot that you guys said that okay, said that you guys couldn't see the command that I'm writing here. So now we'll try to visit the home directory. This is all in the here all the users home directory is stored. I mean all the directories of the user, like personal file, documents, the settings, I mean which is dot files we say traditionally. Mm, if I just try to show you, I'm the user Linux, and if I enter here, I use ls-la to check the dot files. I can see a lot of dot files. Let's go to cd dot local cd share. So here, what I can see is a lot of user level configurations and um, here. Okay, so all these are user level configurations. They are not being applied for the whole system or the for all the user. So each user has have their own directory, like sorry. So here, so I have two users. One is Bengal, one is Linux. So they all have their own directories for keeping the user-specific data and files, folders, etc. Um, okay, so I guess I've completed this, and let's move to here. We have Live64. Before I move there, these both are the same things with a little bit of differences. All these two folders, lib64 and lib, there are some essential shared libraries needed by the binaries from these binaries and these system binaries. Yeah, in these system binaries, and the these lib64 shared libraries are especially for the 64-bit of programs. Um, or libraries. So we'll try to enter one of them and see. We can see we have a lot of. Okay, let's code. This is VS codes, and here we can see a lot of VS codes library, and there are essential libraries here. And if we come back, let's see. I sorry, see the Zorg server. Okay, so here there is some more of the shared library details here. Okay, so these are very crucial, and if you remove them, the softwares or the commands, I mean the binaries, may fail to execute properly. So you have to be very cautious while you are working on this library directory, but it is not um, recommended to touch anything from here until you know what you are doing, and there is nothing you can do here actually. So let's go back and see. So we have talked about lib and lib64 altogether. Now we have is the mount directories, cd manti. So currently now I have nothing in the mount directories. This is a temporary mount point for file systems. It allows us to mount any file systems or partitions, hard drives eventually. Um, especially, I mean, this is used for mounting those of file systems which are not being mounted automatically while the system is booting. So if it doesn't on the file system configurations, mount file system configurations, then you have to mount those of the partitions or that hard drives uh, uh, manually. So at the time we use these directories, I mean this mount directory. So let's go back and check how do we have next. We have process directory. So I pronounce it as proc. Okay, just doing some fun. This is a virtual file system, another virtual file system that provides process for the kernels, and and um, it represents to the systems and the process their informations to. Um, and these are also generated dynamically and provides real-time information about system process, um, and and this sometimes contains some sensitive data, and there is nothing you should change here. Like if you try to modify these files, you may break your system. I have tried to do these things, like um, I tried to modify several things while I was learning, maybe on the time of 2019. I tried to modify several of them, like swaps, keys, and also there is a partition here. So basically you can do much more things here. So uh, and there is nothing to configure here. They are generated dynamically, so you don't have to touch anything and configure. So now we have runtime directory. I is as run. So there is to an ls. This contains runtime variables data such as running systems since the last boot. I mean, when I turn on the system, it is storing data that are being used after turning power on the system. So um, it will be removed if I turn off the system, and if I turn it again, I'll see them see these kinds of files again, files and folders. Here's the catch: you'll always see some files and folders because you will turn on the system. If you use another pen drives, I mean another live boot system, or if you have another Linux, and if you try to mount this partition and visit this folder, you'll see this is empty. And um, and these are all these are lost, and these are transient data for the current logged in users. And if I have to go back, yeah, I guess I didn't have missed anything here. So there is only one thing to say: the data is get lost when you reboot or turn off the system. Now we have okay, we have services. So in these services, these are this contains data by the systems for the server or FTP. And you can see I have Apache configured like this. Yeah, there's some of my works. Okay. So these are especially for the web servers and the FTP like of system. Uh, okay, so there is nothing much more here, and what we have is the temporary file system now. So this is kind of interesting. These temporary files and folders are created by applications. such as I can say this Remina, there is Sublime. So they are being created. This file is created by Sublime text editor, and all these will be cleared on reboot, and they do not persist on the storage. I mean, on the disk after reboot, they are recreated. Uh, okay. So if you are downloading something just for one-time uses, you can download it here, and you don't have to be worried about deleting it. You just turn off the system and they will just vanish. So these are fantastic. I mean, you see there will be a lot of configure. I mean, script that are using temporary this temp directory for downloading their binaries. Then they are configuring, or they are downloading the source code, compiling here, and then remove and moving the binary to the binary for binary directories, and they are not removing it because when you turn off the system, it gets automatically removed. So you don't have to worry, or the script writer don't have to worry about those shit. Okay. So then we have okay, now we have some variables. I mean, variable directory cd var. Okay, as like before, as I said, these are the things that are being used by several of the programs for the logs and databases, storing their caches. um, and all these are variable data. If I try to show you some example, I may enter cd cache, sorry, cache pacman pkg, and it has a lot of uh, this is the compressed installable programs. I mean, if we this JST is a compressed like executable files that installs the Ruby program. Here it installs the Wayland. This JST installs WL clipboard. These are something similar to the exe executable files like we use in Windows, and these are the signature files that checks that if this file is downloaded correctly or not, and from the authenticator vendor or the creator. Okay, so these directories actually needed by the programs to run normal operations, and pacman uses this directory, this pacman pkg, for storing all these binaries, kind of the compressed executable files to reinstall when you want, rather than downloading every time. Okay, so there is something much more than that, like you can use the check the log, cd log, and you see a lot of log. I just don't want to. Okay, okay, let's check the supervisor d. This is something of the laravel program. I used it supervisor for a laravel applications. Okay, that's it for the variables. Now we go back and check. Okay, okay. I guess I have missed something. Let's check. Okay, so here is another temporary, and there is the same level of this temp directory, and this is if the special thing is, this these temporary files are preserved between reboots used by application that needs to store some temporary data that should not be deleted after reboot. I mean, even after reboot you can use it until you delete them. So uh, I guess there is okay, maybe I have cleared all the sublime data. Okay, so uh, and this is the mailbox data. If you have your own SMTPs and IMAP system, you may use them. Like um, sometimes this mailbox data can be on this like spool. So see spool. Okay, so here you can see there is some other like a postfix. I have mail, but they have nothing because I haven't ever used them, because I use Thunderbird and I don't have any postfix configured here. Okay, so these are all the things that are here, but I don't have postfix configured. I just install it for testing, and then I maybe removed it. Okay. Mm, I don't think I have missed anything from there. Okay, so what's next? We have the boot directory. Sorry. Okay. So here things get interesting because while I was learning, I had some error in the EFI file system. I thought of recreating them, and yeah, grab I was trying to configure a grab bootloader, and I thought, what the hell is these things? And I removed maybe these two things. I thought, what is an image folder? Because the icon shows like a CD is mounted or a ISO is mounted here, and I thought just removing them. 85 megabytes of storage it is using, and when I rebooted I saw that it is not booting. So wait a minute. Okay, sorry for the interruptions. So I removed it, and the system didn't boot. So you have to know what this boot directory does. This contains all the file system that are necessary to boot the system, load the kernel, and con- and also the bootloader configurations. That is the grab here, and I was configuring a theme. Oh, sorry. Okay, so it's currently now I'm using the default one is Starfield, but at the time I was using something different. And okay, so there is much more things that you will know when you will be configuring the grab bootloader. So these are something, if you look at it, it is loading the Linux gen kernel, that this is loading the kernel, and is saying to not load the watchdogs of Linux. So these things are very interesting, and you'll know them uh, when you'll be configuring these things. And here it's loading the how the grab bootloader will look like. I mean, every time you change the configurations and you have to reload the grab CFG, I mean, update the grab configurations. There is some automated command. I'll show you them how to configure the grab bootloader if you guys are interested. And that's how it does, is basically load the whole systems, and if you modify them it will affect the boot process. The main thing is the VM Linux, which is the kernel and the initramfs. So you should be careful when you are here configuring the grab bootloader or anything. All these are sensitive and I mean they're very important to load the things. If your grab bootloader themes is missing, I don't think it will affect a lot because there is a fail-safe options there, but you should not mess up with the kernel here. Okay, so let's go back, and what we have next is the another interesting thing, that is etc. So what it does is it's something like etc. It contains the configuration file for the systems and applications like systems like grab.d and grab.com. There is no grab.conf. Okay, there is like pacman.conf here you can see. um, okay, so here is the pacman.conf, and there is like systems like several passed sorry password that it contains. I'm not going to show you my password, so I'm not opening that. It comes contains file systems I mean resolve.conf to resolve the DNS. uh, and here this is a fs tab that loads all the mounted file systems here. So here you can see it's mounting the boot EFI, and it's also mounting the TMP ext4 on the primary file systems for these operating systems. There is Windows installed. And this is a dual boot device system that I'm using. So but it is not on the fs tab, so I have to mount that uh, partition. I always mount the partitions manually. um, and I don't like to mount it every time I'm turning on the system, because that's not necessary. And it also contains the applications configurations. Like if I try to show you some slash okay, httpd slash conf slash extra. Okay, I haven't configured this ssl.com, so here is all the comments and useless things here. um, so whatever. Okay, so these are the things that is on this configurations directory. This is where the most system wide settings are stored, not like the dot files on the user directories. I mean user specific directories on the home directory. And it is as and when you are changing the configurations, it is recommended that you take a backup of your configurations before you modify, so that you can always revert your changes and have a safe usage of configuring the Linux system. Because Linux doesn't stop you from doing anything, is all about you, all about your choices. So but you have to if you want to be safe, then you should take a backup. But I prefer to be reckless, and sometimes like to get messed up, like I did on the while I was recording the video for the first time. So now I have okay, uh, we'll talk about option. Okay, I'm sorry. uh, so in this here, there is some, what's that called, Okay, so in these four directories we contains how to call extension or add-on, yeah, add-on or some extra features that we get for by loading the extensions or code that's called add-on. I mean, I just those things are being stored here, like there is Google Chromes, I guess, yeah. Here Google Chrome, and there you can see the Google's some library, some datas and things that is here. Okay, so these are all kinds of add-on that doesn't comes by default. Uh, um, I mean, while you are installing the softwares, like the best options will be looking at the Android Studio, I guess. Okay, so here's I can see the plugin, JBR binaries, and some details. So these doesn't come default. So these are just from files and folders created. If I install an add-on, they'll be in here. So let's just check if I have anything on there. And yeah, I have a lot. Okay. So sometimes proprietary softwares like Android Studio. Here I have LAMP, I have JDownloader, one of the most, probably one of the most open source, most used. I prefer it mostly. Some of my friends prefer AB downloader, but I prefer JDownloader. There's TeamViewer. Some prefer Rust desktops, Remina. So all that add-ons are being stored in this, and all these are proprietary software. So some says it's only for proprietary softwares or application that require separate installation. Okay, uh, so these things are being stored in this optional. I call it optional OPT directories. Okay, so I have kind of different names to remember things, which may be not the similar to other experts. I'm not an expert. I'm just a good guy. Okay, so here is the root direct. Okay, so why I can't enter on the root directory is because I don't have the permission on the most 20 essential Linux command. I have showed you about the permission things. So I have to enter sudo mode and log in as a sudo sorry, root user. Okay, good guy. Now let me enter cd/root. Okay, so in here I can see a lot of things that are. I don't use root user, and root user is mostly for the administrative account. So it is being used for configuring the system or system maintenance, recovery, or making some system-wide changes. Cause for configuring something for system-wide, we have to use sudo, which means we are using the root user. But I don't log in on the root user, download anything, so nothing is here. Actually, all these are backups or things that I've created. So that's it. Now I want to exit from the root user, and now I'm back on the root directory, not the root user. And what I have is system binaries. Okay, so this is something you will get confused why there is two binaries. This is system binaries, and there is system wide binaries for user. These binaries are especially for um, administrative tasks like shutdown, mount, file system check. Can be used for modifications, but you'll see most of everything, but it's all about the file systems, kernels, drivers, and similar things like that. Okay, So these are the commands that are used by the root user, um, mostly. Okay, so mostly used by the root user, and that's it. This is like another binaries, but these are for the system binaries that mostly affects the system. Oh, sorry, I'm not exiting. Okay, so now I have the systems, and how does the system here? This configure sorry. So this contains all the system. I just sometimes get lost. Okay, so this contains informations, or this represents the kernel, contains information about the system, kernels, devices. This is like another sensitive directories that you should be aware of. Uh, So this directory is especially used by the kernel for debugging and configurations. There is firmware. If you remove the firmware, you'll understand why you need firmware. Because I think you guys should try this on VMware. You'll love it when you remove some of these things. I have tried. It's not recommended to do these things on on your daily drivers. I mean daily working system. So these are something that you should not be touching on a production system. But I recommend it you to configure, try to read what is this in there. Like let's go to the kernel. If I was on a VMware, I'll try to remove some of these things. Okay, so there is nothing more here, but so here is all about the modules that are being used by the kernel to load the system. Like if I just try to show you something, there is binder module. If you are using a virtual systems like virtualization system, like what is that called? Um, Droid, Nbox, or emulators, like they will be needing this binder file system. So this module will be needed. There is ACPI. This is a battery. This is App Armor for security features for Linux. There's Bluetooth module. There is something. Okay. There is the keyboard. There is kernel modules. There is the bfat file system modules that loads the bfat. You can try to read them all and check how they have. So basically this is everything that kernel use. Like I have VMware, and there's a vmon interface. There is vmw vmci, and you'll find everything that the kernel needs to working properly and have a proper working system. And like this module, there this IP tables uses these modules to load the system networking features. I'm not going too deep because we need to know something more before we move into there. And yeah, there's more like this. There is block systems. Like if I how's that called? If I enter a CD, I mean a disk here, it will be used. There is SDA. So there is SDA 1235. Maybe I'm using SDA 5. Sorry. So here it kinds of maintains the system block storage, that partition of SDF5. This part, no, I don't have this part. So sad. Okay, I mean I can use sorry parted -l. Okay. I was looking for a fail-safe. Uh, I think there should be more of safe system because I don't want to mess up with this. Okay, there is departed. I could have used that. Um, okay, so um, so this is here, I guess. Okay, shit. So save disk is why it is not loading. Okay, maybe for some reason this I don't know. This is not loading. So I have maybe five partitions on these systems, and currently I am using. Um, I don't know. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, so this one worked. I don't know why they didn't work. Parted slash dev slash SDA. Okay. Okay, so yeah, now I can be sure that I'm using. I have five of partitions from SDA. The SDA, that is an SSD, and this is the CD. You can here see ROM, and you can see the partitions, and here this is saying that I am what's that called, using a SDA2 partition, and this file size is 100 megabytes, and this is the EFI directory that we saw on while we were working. Okay. And now there is something more that I wanted to show. Um, um, yeah. This literally gives you mm, information about the file system that's being used, that has been used, and so it gives you. Okay. Okay. So now this gives kind of human readable data that my dev file system is available, have 5.8 gigabyte. Okay. So uh, this says that HDF5 partitions have 1.2 gigabyte available, and I have used the rest of them. So there are much of the commands that we can see. I mean, these are something that are very essential commands that I should have been show you. um, but I don't know why CF disk is not working. I, let's see if I have F disk. Okay, I guess it should work. Okay, so here is F disk. These are these, you may see a little bit of difference on how they are giving the standard output. This is saying that this is Windows recovery environment. This is uh, Microsoft reserved partitions, and this is the primary partition for the Microsoft. I mean the Windows system. This is not an EFI system. This is an ext4 file system. That's the primary storage for these operating I mean these operating systems. And mm, another unit command is hardware info. uh, okay, let's keep that. Okay, okay. So this will give you a more kind of some data that you will not understand easily. So this is saying my device have 240 gigabytes with this SSD vendors and the models. And this is saying this is HSID where this is dev slash SDA partitions. I mean the main disk, and a lot of other things of the data. So the reason of showing you the disk and information that these disks are being mounted on the block or on the mount system, or they're mounted on the root directories anyhow. I mean somehow that makes the whole operating system works. And literally there are more ways to see I mean which partitions or volume we are using. But I am not using zparted because I had kind of some very bad experience with this, because I have that's made my system corrupted a lot of times. So on my daily drivers I don't use gparted anymore, but I have it still I have installed these things because uh, 'cause sometimes you may need it. You can see CF disk is not working. I don't know why it was taking so time. Okay, so these are the things that you can check, but I don't recommend you gparted. And when you are moving through the file system, don't mess your things up. And let's do lsplk one more time. And sd4 sudo mount slash tab slash sda4. uh, okay, so it is saying this is not being specified on the fs tab, so I will mount it on the music, sorry, music for, sorry, home slash linux slash music. Oh shit. So the last time I used Windows, the thing was hibernated. I mean, because the battery, I didn't have enough battery, so it turned off. So that's the error it is giving. The whole system is read only. So whatever, we're not going to do anything. Just showing you that a normal directories can have a root directories attached or something from other partitions. So if you're removing something, you will need to know um, what you are doing on the directories. That's why I'm creating these videos. Okay, so let's go to the root directories, and I don't want to mess things up. So there is two way you can unmount. by pressing here or sudo umount slash tab slash hdf4 and things has okay. Now I can and what's remaining, I think only the user directory series slash user. So this contains user programs and data, including applications and utilities. Okay, so cd slash bin. Okay, so there is another binary data folder here, but what I'm looking is cd local, and here you will see another binary, and we'll go there. See what we have. We have some system level. I mean user level user level binaries like pacui. This is a fantastic thing that fixes your pacman. That's what it says. It's a pacman manager, help you to fix and manage pacmans. I mean, it just automates the command that you give. It gives you a graphical interface. That's good. So all the things that you see here is installed by the user or being used by the user's applications, and they're shareable and read only by the user needs root level permission to interact with these files configuring things. So however, this is for today. Have I missed anything? Maybe not. And you should all the binary directories that you're seeing here is we have seen in these videos are kind of case sensitive, like grep. I think okay, there is okay. Oh shit. So this is how I'm always mess up with things. Okay, so here it is Python. So we can say that all the essential binaries are here. Um, so all the thing is the same, but if you look at the difference, oh shit. Um, so, so so there is some short link that's being created, so they are not really stored here always. Sometimes there are links, so you should I mean here you can see the L, so you have to be very careful when you were working with them, and you should not remove them and if you don't know what is in there, like this is corrupted, because maybe I have removed these manually. Yeah, and maybe that can happen because I'm very good at making a system corrupted. So what I did is I removed maybe all default JVMs, and for some reason maybe I messed up at the time or my friend did, whatever. So that's it for today. There was a lot of trash talking here. So I guess you have understand why you should know about the Linux directories, why they are important, and we should be careful when we are using those directories. And basically Linux says that um, the whole system is yours. You can remove everything, you can do everything. So I recommend you to have a virtual system or or some a system that you don't use for your official or personal things, and don't have anything that is necessary to you. And on that system you can try almost everything, remove the kernel, configure the grab as you want, run any command you get on the internet, like on Stack Overflow, on the wikis, on the forums. So that will give you a more enhanced experience on learning Linux. So that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next video on the next class about learning about the package manager, so that we can install any preferred choices of the application softwares. So that video will be a bit of more interesting than this one. Stay tuned.